Today is a very significant day because September 1st, 1896 opened a new path of self-realization. Simple and straightforward but not easy. As Sanjay ji said, we have to keep practicing it. As Bhagavan says, Sahaja Samadhi is where we naturally abide in that state of Samadhi. Is superior to Nirvikalpa Samadhi, where we feel unity with our self, but it goes away. Matter of hours, days or weeks for somebody. But Bhagavan came to fathom a new way to the oldest path of spirituality, which is the Jnana Marga, but he made it adaptable to the modern day so that people like a neurologist or engineers in Sydney, Melbourne can practice it, and they can go perform their daily karmic activities while being established in the self, while practicing nishkamya karma, while always being established in the self. We don't have to go to forests, endure days of intense tapas, but what Bhagavan showed that what we are looking for is already within us. So by going to a forest, we are only substituting the city life for the forest, where again it comes along with its own sets of problems and egos that I'm a sannyasi, So one thing we all on this path have to be very wary of is this ego raising up, especially the spiritual ego. So that's why, please, if anything you take away from here, you all have to know that you are all going to be realized. You already are. In every night in deep sleep, we are that state where there is no ego. We are that. All we need to do is what Bhagavan did, is Jagrat Shushupti, like achieve that state of walking deep sleep, and where there is no ego. So we know what the enemy is, that is the ego. And when we remove that, what remains behind is the shining inner glory, our Atman, our self. But again, we know the GPS, we know the route, but we have to follow it with doggedness. And Ramana said, what is the quality that is needed most for a spiritual seeker? He said, is dhiran, somebody who's fearless, who's persistent, and who's dogged. So through it all, we'll all undergo periods where we feel that we have not made any progress, but we are, like in other margas, you can you could recite voluminous books of hymns, prayers. In yoga, you can do various yogas, but this path is internal. So it's a path where we are constantly wiping away the coats of dirt that covers our Atman while we are going towards it. So sometimes initially we make spectacular progress, and then we go through a period of slow progress. I know you're all from Australia, you all played cricket, but not the Australian cricket, but where you just come and just bang bang hit it, but the Indian way where we slowly grind. And they say the period between, when you're a batsman, between 30 and 70, it's very important. Every run is where you have to concentrate, and then it just becomes so easy. Even if you don't want to hit a boundary, it's going to come. But so a lot of times we get into that period where we are progressing, but we don't feel it. But that is where the power of satsang is, where the power of satsang and the power of devotion to the Guru and the one-pointedness, what he said, is because, a lot of times there is a temptation to go back and read, say, oh, it's better than reading something else, you just go back. But then, so me and Sanjay ji are physicians. I'm a former physician, but it's like me going back to reading biology of self, a cell, mitochondria and all, when I'm already into practicing medicine. And sometimes stay with it, even if you don't, we don't have to go backwards, and then that can again lead to a little divergence. This path is for the chosen few. You all didn't choose Bhagavan, Bhagavan chose you. And this is from a punya of several births. I mean, you have done all the grinding work in your previous births. So now that's why it makes a lot of sense. The Atma Vichara is for the chosen heroic few, where you know the clear marga, but you have to stick with it. And the path is enjoyable, especially in the company of people like us. Soon sometimes we feel we are misfits, especially in the world, but not really, because we have to be loyal to ourselves, our own Atma, because this is one chance. As Brahmana says, the purpose of human birth is to attain self-realization. I mean, there will always be, 100 years later, the world will still be the same. It will be different attractions, different pleasure, and then followed by pain. But this, we may not have this kind of circumstances where we can come, meditate, the kind of maturity we all have. So my request is, please stick with it. And, here, as you say, you're not asked to do anything. You're just asked to, the only seva and karma you have to do is to be true to yourself and practice the Guru's teachings. Bhagavan says, what is the highest, the ultimate a devotee can respect, pay to the Guru? It's not pressing their feet or doing, it is practicing his or her teachings. So that is the highest form of tribute you can pay to your Guru. And as Sanjay ji said, the power of satsanga is tremendous. For satsanga loosely is staying in the company of like-minded. But in our way, it is staying with the Sat, which is the self. So we are all, though different bodies, but we are all the same self, the eternal self. So in the company of each other, the selves connect in its own way. The same chanting, the same reading from talks is a different, deeper meaning. I've been there in Washington, America for 28 years and benefited myself with the weekly satsanga that we had with our friends. So in the satsanga, where, and again, what I feel is, don't be, I know your group does a good job of talking about your experiences, so there might be, anytime there is any stoppage in the progress of your sadhana, but we can discuss amongst each other, and somebody will say, yeah, I had this and I did this and it went away. So, what might be a colossal mountain for you may just be a small pebble, it's from somebody else's experience. And because we are all being watched by Bhagavan, and he is guiding us. So Ramana says, the Ishvaro Gururat Meti, God, Self and Guru are the same. And so the Bhagavan is the external Guru and also our inner Guru. So from outside he pushes us inwards, and he takes the inner Guru pulls us inwards, so that we get established in the eternal peace of the Atman. Without bhakti, to the Guru, and again, bhakti is misrepresented by like extreme forms that we see elsewhere. But this form of bhakti is a bhakti to your own Atman, and when you surrender, to God, what is the highest that you can give? God has everything, and so the best thing that we can give is the best version of ourself. So the egoless version of ourself. When we do that, again in that process, the ego dies. So Ramana said, there is a beautiful article in The Mountain Path, the unity of self-inquiry and self-surrender. I think I'll forward it to you. It's a beautiful roadmap, and it is where it says both result in the annihilation of the ego. But while you read that article, you'll all realize you reach a state where you're still kept in abeyance. That final leap of faith, that final push comes from the Guru's grace. And that we've seen in many older devotees here who practice Bhagavan's teachings, where finally they were absorbed with Bhagavan, but there comes a period where there's extreme calmness about them. You can see that there's absolute fundamental understanding of the teaching. There is this peace about them, but they are waiting. They're waiting for the Guru to give that little final push, and then you could see that everything, the whole journey has come to its zenith. So you can see that. But what I also offer to you is this journey, this path itself is what we call one of Chitta Shuddhi, where we are improving, we are cleaning the self. And that process itself is very enjoyable. Your colleagues, your family members will find a peace about yourself. You yourself will be surprised at how sometimes you deal with some very unpleasant situations, some bad happenings around you. But so, because this is once it starts, as Bhagavan says, you take one step towards me, the Guru will take the 9 steps towards you. So please rest assured that the Guru's grace is here, because all of us being here itself this afternoon is proof of that Guru's grace. Otherwise, you would not be here. And you're all going to take wherever the devotee is. Arunachala, Ramanasramam comes within you. For this is a journey of the heart. As somebody said, what is how much distance does this path take? It's from the head to the spiritual heart. That's all this what 2 feet is what you have to travel. You just have to take all our thing and put it in to our hridayam, and that is what we are trying to do. And so don't get bogged down by theory, enjoy this journey. And there are lot of people who will give beautiful speeches and this thing, which is okay, but don't forget the task on hand, and the elegance of simplicity and directfulness is what separates this journey from other paths. And on behalf of the ashram, I want to tell you that you're all part of our family. Bhagavan is our father, Dakshinamurti. He continues to teach us wherever we are in silence. Because silence is the most potent teachings, because everything else is otherwise words, using the mind, like how can you explain what kind of food you like, right? I mean, it's all subjective, but this is beyond that, and this is a feeling of deathlessness, and it's not only a feeling, it's an experience of deathlessness, which all of you, I'm sure, have experienced at some stage, and you want to make that a permanent state. And Bhagavan Ramana, on this September 1st, I assure you, he didn't come to talk down to us, to form a new religion, but he came to make us all like him. He looked upon all of us as Ramanas. So that is the greatness of Bhagavan Ramana, where he transmits that state of spirituality to each one of his devotee, and that's assured. But all we have to do is, as Bhagavan says, be like that baby monkey which holds on to that mother, or like the baby cat which just stays limp when the mother who carries it in its jaw. Because trust the Guru, and you will achieve that state wherever you are. Because Arunachala, though there is a physical thing, it's a brilliant, more than a concept. It's the only reality, and we all have it in each one of us in our spiritual heart. And as Muruganar, the Bhagavan devotee, said, wherever Ramana's devotees are, there is Ramanasramam. So wherever in the, you will all take Ramanasramam with you. And of course, Sanjay ji will keep you all, united and on this beautiful journey of satsanga and atma vichara. And each one of you, you're welcome. If you want one more trip in between, you're most welcome. And the ashram is the temple of Advaita, the temple of true inner silence. And the greatness, I always say, is there is a living presence of Lord Shiva. There's a living presence of Bhagavan Ramana, who is Dakshinamurti. But more importantly, it's also the living, when you sadhaks like you come, do your sadhana, you leave behind some of, you leave behind candles that other people can light it effortlessly. So this is a form of, and it never dies down, the spiritual light. So I'll leave you all to a beautiful satsang, and unfortunately I have to do some administrative work, and but please just it's a highlight of my job to meet such ripe souls like you. And trust me, you're all pretty much far on this path, because we see ourselves every day, we don't know. But some of you I've been meeting for a few years, and I can see, I can feel that you're all progressing towards the Atman and the Hridayam, towards self-realization. Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Ramanaya. Thank you so much.